Back in the building, feeling good. Came a little bit earlier. I don't know what time. What time is it, Shannon? I don't know what time it is. I should have checked it before I came on here.
7:34.
It is 7:34. So we is here for the 7:30 show, and my time just popped up because my notifications just went out. What's going on with y'all, man? I just wanted to come on here real quick and tell y'all my story. You understand what I'm saying? I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, and I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna sit down and just let me plug this charger back up. I don't know when I'm gonna sit down and just tell everybody my story about how I even came, how I got to YouTube and all this other good shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I always be like, that's a long story and all this shit when I be explaining shit. So I'm about to go ahead and get into that. So without further ado, this is how I became Hybrid 803. Now, this goes way back to when I was a kid. You understand what I'm saying? It all started me as a little kid sitting there watching cartoons. I think I'm like 4 years old or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Appreciate all the likes, man. Appreciate y'all coming in and everything like that. Shouts out to y'all. Yeah. So I'm sitting there watching cartoons, and rest in peace. It's like a Saturday morning, right? And I'm like 3 or 4 years old. And my uncle Dave, rest in peace, he comes in the house, that same house you see on the Marshall Street album cover. He comes in the house with his homies, rest in peace, Stanley, and another one of his homeboys he used to be chilling with. You know what I'm saying? And they used to be outside on the block smoking and drinking and shit. What's up, Miss Wolf? How you doing? Love it every time you come by. How the dogs? Hope everything's all good. Hope everything's all well with you. You know what I mean? And the animals. Hope y'all good. You know what I'm saying? So they come in the house and on the Saturday morning, and they take I'm watching cartoons like Looney Tunes and shit. And my uncle takes the remote control. It's just me in the house by myself, and he just turns to fucking wrestling on Saturday, right? It's like WCW Saturday morning wrestling. At the time, I never really seen wrestling before. I didn't really even know about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was just a little kid playing with my toys, watching cartoons. You know what I'm saying? So he turns on WCW Saturday morning wrestling. And one of my earliest memories of professional wrestling, I see Ric Flair. He's in some type of apartment complex, right? And he's fighting some other guy, and they're fighting in this apartment complex, and it just hooked me. I was just sitting there like, I was like, I never seen this on TV before. Thank you. That's what it is. I'm glad y'all doing good. I'm glad everybody's good. That's what it is. That's what's up. What's up, Ryan Leonard? Woo! That's right, Nature Boy, Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? One of the four horsemen. You know what I mean? But I see him beating up on some guy in an apartment complex, and I was just like, what? I never knew this was on TV. So later on, I started seeing, they start doing wrestling matches and everything, and it just blows my mind as a kid, right? At first I was playing my little Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man and shit, like little action figures. Next thing you know, it's straight WWF, WCW in my house. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I'm wrestling with the toys. You know what I mean? So I developed a love, for that type of entertainment. I don't really start watching it yet like that, like on my own, but it just mesmerized me at the time. Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward I'm not gonna give y'all everything. I was swimming as a sperm in my daddy's nuts. No, I'm not. So anyway, okay, so let's fast forward. My mom used to move around a lot. Originally my mom's from Jamaica, Queens. I was born in Columbia, South Carolina, but my mom's from Jamaica, Queens. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to 40 Projects and all that. Shouts out to Grandpa up there in New York and all that, Uncle Willie and all that. But yeah, she's from Jamaica, Queens, so we moved around a lot. Living down here in the South, we would go back and forth. Like we would go back up north, up to Queens and come back down and things like that, and venture out different places. So my mom was used to travel, and she would be in Columbia, get tired of Columbia. I guess get in an argument with one of her friends or something. She just, I'm tired of Columbia, want to move or whatever. So now we moved to Charlotte. We moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, because she moved around a lot, and I got family in Charlotte too. Shouts out to Nearest And shouts out to my cousin Tori, who's now in Texas. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We're living in Charlotte. Okay. I'm supposed to go to bed. I think I'm in like what was I? I think in Charlotte I was like in middle school, I think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think I was in middle school. So I'm supposed to go to bed like at fucking like 10 o'clock or some shit, right? So I'm sitting in the house, flipping the channels. My mom, she used to work like as a nurse and all this other shit. So I would be home alone and all this other shit. So she would just, she beat it in me to make sure your ass go to bed at 10 o'clock. But I'm flipping the channels and shit, and I see WCW come on at 8 o'clock, right? So I remember seeing it as a kid, and I was like, okay, let me give this a shot and watch it. I'm gonna start watching it. Now I'm hooked. I'm watching this shit every Monday night. I am on it every Thursday. I am watching this. This is my life. It consumes me as a kid. I say, yeah, I want to be a professional wrestler. This is what I'm gonna be in life. It is what it is. So now this is what I'm taking with me throughout my years in school. You know what I'm saying? We moved back down to Columbia, and now I'm doing projects like school projects, asking me like what I want to be when I grow up, and I'm telling them professional wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So one year, okay, so yeah, we doing I'm doing all these projects and shit. We moved back to Columbia. So now I'm in high school now, right? I leave Columbia again, and we move to Queens. Excuse me. we moved to Queens. We moved to Queens for like a year. Then we moved back down to South Carolina. Then I go back up to up north, and now I'm in New Jersey. Okay, I'm in a place. I'm in Elizabeth, New Jersey now. In high school, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to skip a little bit and shit. Okay, so now in Elizabeth, New Jersey, I'm going to Elizabeth High. And up north, the schools were way bigger than what they are down south. And Elizabeth High School was like two different buildings on like it was like a block away from each other. I'd never seen it. It was a school and it was like a block away from each other. You know what I'm saying? And it was like Dwyer House and another house, and I was in Dwyer House or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm up there. I'm going to school. Never really did good in school like that there. So I had to go to summer school one year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm up there and I'm going to summer school. I get this one guy, one teacher, he's from Ghana, okay, for my summer school. And he was an asshole. I'm not gonna lie. I got one of them old school moms. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't believe that the teachers just don't like you and all this other shit. If you be like, teachers don't like me, that's why they, get me in trouble. But this teacher, he used to always call on me and shit, and always, try to chastise me and shit like that. And then, he was just weird as fuck. And then he would have this little thing, right? He would like, if you be sitting in class and you had your hands in your pocket, he'd be like, don't play pocket billiards. And I'd be like, what the fuck is pocket billiards? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the billiards is pool. I don't know. I guess he mentions playing with yourself in class. I don't know. It was weird as fuck. I didn't like that dude. You know what I'm saying? So I tell my mom, I go to my mom, well, I get wrote up for like talking and acting out in school. I go home to mom, I'm like, yo, mom, listen, it ain't me, it's this guy. He's getting, he's getting on me and shit. Icy, cut on the air. Yeah, he's getting on me and shit. Shouts out to Icy, my stepdaughter. Love her so much. But I'm like, yeah, I'm like, mom, this guy right here he's being an asshole. I can't stand it, and I'm just trying to get out of summer school. So she comes up to the school and she talks to the guy because she was like, yeah, up north too, the teachers are different from the ones down south. They're a little bit more, ruder, I guess. Because down south there's more the teachers. Well, back then the teachers were more helpful with the parents and all this. Now the teachers don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck about nothing. They don't. Kid for his signature, they be asking, why you don't want the kid to do what they for their signature for? That's what happened in my house. Anyway, that's a long story. That's another story. Anyway, but yeah, back then the teachers actually helped in the South. Up north, they was kind of more so I'm just doing my job. You know what I'm saying? So she goes up there, she talks to him. Hold on. Zakaz, man. What's going on? Hope you're doing well and safe. Hello from Albuquerque. What's Good, man. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to everybody in Albuquerque. Where's Albuquerque? Is that in Texas? Is Albuquerque? You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to y'all, man. Appreciate the love and everything like that. Where y'all at in Albuquerque? Where's Albuquerque at? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, where I'm at. Okay, yeah. So my mom comes to school and talks to the teacher from Ghana. She goes in there, instantly doesn't like him. She goes in there and she's talking to him, and I could tell my mama, I sit there and look at it because normally I ain't want New Mexico. Oh, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay, yeah. I was close. Shouts out to New Mexico. I always wanted to go to Mexico, New Mexico. I always want to go to New Mexico and Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I always want to see what's going on out there and everything. It looked real dope, when I be looking in the movies and shit. What was I gonna say? Okay. I don't know why I remember the Alamo popped up in my head. They ain't got nothing to do with Mexico. Listen, well, it do got something to do with Mexico, don't it? Because I'm getting off subject. So my mama, right? I got ADHD, excuse me. And she's talking to the guy, doesn't like him. And normally I didn't like my mama talking to the teachers. I'd be scared as shit on the side. But my mom, she's talking to this guy, and he, I see her demeanor. She's getting real aggravated with this guy. And she goes and talks to the principal. She's like, look, I don't want my son in that class. This guy's an asshole. So this was one of the best things that my mom did for me as a kid, was outside of traveling up and down, letting me see different things, instead of being stuck in one city. This is one of the other the best things she's did. She got me out of that class and put me in this other guy's class. Now, I can't remember this guy's name. I remember he was a white guy. He had short hair, glasses, kind of skinny. And when I went to his class, it was kind of weird because I remember the first day I was in his class, he had like a class with a lot of computers. Like he had like a computer room in this class, but the other class was just like desks and shit. But in this new class, he had like computers all on the wall. So I guess he had like a computer room. And I go in there and everybody's at the computers. And he comes, and when I come in the classroom, he's like, hey, for today's lesson, I want you to tell everybody in the class what you want to do in life. And I was like, it tripped me out. Like the first day I get there, it wasn't no, hey, hi, my name is such and such, whatever. No, it was like, tell everybody in the class what you want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? So I get up in the class, and naturally, like I told y'all, I was into pro wrestling, so I said I wanted to be a professional wrestler. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And, started talking about wrestling for like, good 10 minutes, made me feel comfortable. Some people were into it, some people wasn't. But, it was very, they were, it was very accepting. And I thought that was cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially coming from me, I'm an only child. And back then I had, a lot of problems, talking, with different people and things like that. So I thought that was just dope, for them to do that. So now he says, after that little spat, we were sitting there talking, now he says, okay, what I want you to do now is find a way to do what you like to do, right? So I'm sitting here bugging like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean find a way? I thought we were supposed to do like, math work, English work or something. He's like, no, I want you to do research and figure out how to do what you want to do. So I'm like, okay. I go on the internet and I'm like, how to get into pro wrestling, and they're telling me about the wrestling schools and all that other shit. So he tells me because everyone is in the class now. Everyone is doing looking up what they want to do in their life and figuring out how to pursue it. You understand what I'm saying? That's their assignments too. Everybody, that I forgot to tell y'all that. So okay, so now he's like, okay, so for your assignment, I want you to print out all of the schools, all of the wrestling schools in America. I want you to print those out, which I did, and I printed those out. It was like thick. It was a bunch of papers, but it was thick. And I found one in Columbia, South Carolina, and I held on to it. And after we printed those out, the last thing I remember about that class before we left the class, he stood us. He said us down. He was like, "Look, I own a company online. Now this is back then, before how the websites and shit is now. Where it's easy to put things up. He said he owned a company online. I forgot what he was selling or what he was doing online, but he said his wife and his parents didn't like what he was doing, and they wanted him to just concentrate on being a teacher and not just. I think he was he wasn't a main teacher at the time. You know what I'm saying? And he was telling us like his passion is what he wants to do online. So he was like, I don't let any, as much as he loves his family and his wife, he will never let them stop him from doing what he needs to do. Of course, he's going to handle his business, take care of his bills, but he's not going to let them discourage him or stop him from doing what he wanted to do, working for himself, because he said he did not want to work as a teacher for anyone else, And that just kind of like stuck with me. You understand what I'm saying? Like for years, So anyway, I moved back down to Columbia eventually, and my aunt Lynn, shouts out to my aunt Lynn, loves me so much. I always, wanted to, always was, doing things for me, buying me toys and shit. You know what I'm saying? I come back down here, and now I'm living with my aunt. My mom drops me off at my aunt. So she's on the road with my now stepdad at the time, and they're riding. He was a truck driver, so she's driving around with him. She leaves the other boyfriend from New Jersey, and now I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying, with my Aunt Lynn. So I'm going to school. Go back to the same school that they took me from too. It was crazy, Johnson. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So now I'm in C.A. Johnson, and I want to go to professional wrestling school. My Aunt Lynn takes me to this place in West Columbia. On West Beckman Road or some shit, and I meet up with the lady who trained the Fabulous Moolah. Or yeah, she helped train the Fabulous Moolah because they're from South Carolina, whatever. And she had a ring in the back in her. She had like lived in this trailer. She has like a ring in the backyard or whatever that was inside of a barn or something. So we go to it, we talk. She tells us about the school and everything, and she hits my aunt with this crazy price, like I don't know, it was like $1,500, $2,000. And my aunt was like, she didn't say no right then and there. It was crazy. But she looked at me and she was like, woo, okay. You know what I'm saying? $2,000, that's what it is. So as we leaving, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe hopefully she gonna come up with it, ask one of her friends she worked with or something to help out. I don't know what she gonna do, but I'm thinking she gonna do it. So we get back to the house, and she tells me, she's like, look, if I can't get you in that wrestling, I'm gonna get you. I got something for you. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I think it was like the next week or the next day or so. I come home from school, and she calls me. She calls the house phone, and she's like, put on some gym stuff. I'm gonna take you somewhere. I got a surprise for you. Put on some gym stuff. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, oh shit, she done paid for me to go to wrestling school. This shit finna be dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh damn, like this, my dream come true. So she pulls up, I get in the car, and we drive to a place called Thai Kingdom. Okay? And it is, first off, I'm looking around, it's like a Chinese restaurant and a gym like right by it, So we walk in to the gym. And then the first thing I see was the ring. It was a ring. It wasn't a wrestling ring, it was a boxing ring. But for the fact that it was a ring, it just kind of blew me away. I was like, oh shit, it's a ring in here. Oh damn, this is dope, So, I'm just like, okay, well, it's gonna be something, it's got to be something with the ring. So this is what it is. So now I go in there, and I meet one of the coaches who I still talk to this day, named Corey. And he meets my auntie and everything, and he looks at me. I'm big for my size. I was a big football player. I used to play like left tackle at C.A. Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Go Hornets. You know what I'm saying? But I was a big, I was a big solid kid. You know what I'm saying, back then. So appreciate the light. So he looks at me. He's like, yo, you young, you big, you solid. You're gonna be a great heavyweight. We need more heavyweights. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get to train to be a heavyweight. Cool. And not gonna lie, before this, I knew about boxing. I just didn't have a love or a care, whatever about boxing. I didn't know shit about it or whatever the fuck. I was just like, I knew about boxing and Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, but I didn't know shit about boxing. So I start training, and he trains me for free too. Shouts out to Corey. Still looks out for me to this day when I want to go to the gym and shit. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to Corey and all that, and Coach. Coach D, yeah. But so for no money, a month, he's now I get trained, You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I should. I don't want to go into my whole boxing career story, but you know, just know in my boxing career, I had like what 10 fights. I had 9 or 10 fights. I lost my last fight to Charlemagne the God's security guard, which that I had that story. That story is on here too on YouTube, so you can check that out whenever you want to go check that out on the side. Um, but you know, around that time after my last fight, this is when I'm you know, okay. But hold on, let me not get in there because okay. So yeah. So so I start boxing, do my boxing career, get like 10 fights or whatever like that. And after that, during my boxing career is when I start getting into rap as I'm boxing. You know what I'm saying? Long story short on that, it was my partner Jason, and I had a partner named Jason and a partner named Trent, right? You know what I'm saying? And we used to all come to my house after school because nobody be at my fucking house. And we'd be out at my house playing video games, cooling out, wilding out, talking about girls and all kind of shit. So, one day Jason comes to the house, just out of the fucking blue, and he has a notebook, and he's like, "Hey," and it's funny how he did it because, like, we used to all just come to my house, chill out, bug out, whatever. And this one particular day, he didn't get off the bus with me and Trent, at the stop from my house. He goes home. So me and Trent at my house, cooling, whatever. We ain't oblivious, playing a video game, whatever. Next thing you know, here come Jason. He come knock on the door. So I go to the door. I'll never forget this. I open the door, and Jason's standing there with a notebook. He talking to my son. Hey, man. Yeah, man, we got to work on this song, man, because, I got these songs I'm writing. And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck you mean songs? I don't know. What are you talking about, songs? You do songs, motherfucker? Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah, I rap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, I didn't know you rap. You know what I mean? We've been friends for fucking years. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been friends on and off. You know them friends you be with in the school system and shit like that. On and off since elementary. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dude, you ain't never say nothing about you rapping and none of this shit. So he comes to my house, with the notebook, and somehow we all just started fucking freestyling. Me and Trent. Trent wasn't rapping either. None of us was rapping. We was just sitting here cooling. And next thing you know, we all in out. We heard some of his songs in his notebook, and then we just started fucking freestyling and rapping, just trying to come up with shit. You know what I'm saying? And I instantly fell in love with that shit. Like the first day we did it, I was just like, this is fun as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So now I got my love for rap going now, and I gotta with boxing. I love boxing, but to me, boxing is like a part of me or something. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I'm like, rapping gets me excited. Like boxing gets me excited too, but rapping gets me excited. Like but boxing is like, I don't know. It's just something. It's like something I have to do. I don't get it. But I love boxing too. But it's just at the time I'm getting into rap, so now I'm kind of getting away from the boxing ring at this point. Besides, I'm not really getting many fights like that and all this. So I'm more concentrating on rapping in school. I wasn't seriously rapping in the street, but I was rapping at school. That's where I meet Shantae and everything. And she had her clique, and we was battling her clique. They used to eat the fuck out of us every lunch. And until one year when I had finally got the balls to stand up to Ryan Creech and battle his ass back in the band room. That was a legendary, epic moment in my high school childhood year. Anyway, but yeah, so where I'm at. So I'm battling Shantae in school and shit, and we're doing rap battles in school, and I'm battling all the other guys and shit. After I beat Ryan Creech and shit like that, a little bit. I'm still doing boxing. I'm still going to the boxing gym. People in school don't know like that necessarily, but this is what I do. I don't really tell people in school, man. Fuck. I wasn't I didn't have a lot of school spirit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway. So now, we're rapping and okay. So now, I'm still boxing. I go to train one day, right? So as I go to train one day, I remember, that it was chairs around the boxing ring, and I remember going to coach. I was like, "Yo, coach," there's another coach, Coach Mitch. I was like, "Yo, Mitch, why is it chairs? Is there a fight?" You know what I'm saying? Because I want if it was a fight going on, I want to get up in there and fight. And he was like, Nah, ain't no fights going on. Appreciate the likes, man. Appreciate y'all so much. He was like, nah, ain't no fights going on. They be having this little rap bullshit at night. And I be like, rap bullshit, nigga. I rap. Okay, you know. He was like, oh, I didn't know you rap. Just I guess stay around and you can see what's going on. And I was like, okay, cool. So I'm talking about y'all now. Now, mind y'all, I just went to school and then I done trained for like 2-3 hours. I ain't went home to wash my ass or nothing. I'm sitting here waiting. I just sat there and waited for another 2-3 hours until it was time for them to come and set up. You know what I'm saying? So I sat there and wait. Me and my auntie. Shouts out to my aunt Leah, man. She was just right there with me. You know what I'm saying? She was, laying to take a nap any motherfucking way and give you some hours. So anyway, you know what I'm saying? So, so now I meet someone called Venom from the radio stations around here. This is some interesting. Appreciate you so much, Miss Wolf. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Glad y'all want to hear the story. So now I meet Venom from the radio. It's a female named Venom, and I've heard her on the radio before and things like that, but I never met her before. I never met anyone from this entertainment shit yet. It's even before the Charlemagne fight, before my last fight, right? So she comes in, and I'm like, oh shit, this is the girl from the radio. This is gonna be dope. You know what I mean? She does like she did like a poem, and it was dope. She doesn't do none of that no more, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was dope. And then we went into it was a rap battle, freestyle rap battle. So I had to sign up and pay like $10, but the prize was like $50 if you won. So I signed up like my $10, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, after me beating Ryan Creech in school, like I told y'all previously, I was like, okay, well I think I got enough nuts to go out here and do this here, and win this $50. This is gonna be dope. So my aunt pays the money, you know what I'm saying, and I go out here and we freestyle and we do our thing. I lose my first one. I was bummed. I'm not even gonna cap. I was bummed. I lost it and I was just like, oh shit, But I remember walking out and Venom going to my aunt and she was like, your nephew has a whole lot of potential. Tell him to come back next week. He might can do good. And she was like, okay. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, I must be good enough to come back and rap in front of these people. So the next week, comes. When I tell y'all my whole week I was concentrating on that next week. I was practicing. I went to school. Now I'm at school, like, that rest of that week I'm at school, like, I don't give a fuck about whatever it is. Before the school was the end all be all. Now it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm in here, I'm freestyling, win or lose, I don't care. I got a battle next Monday, you know what I'm saying? So the next Monday I'm using the school as training ground. So now the Monday comes and I go out there and I win. I won against the guy, whoever I was battling at the time, some guy. I even actually got footage of the same gym. Man, what's up, Clifford Freeman? What's up, Cliff? How you doing, big homie? What's happening, homie? You know what I'm saying? But I even got footage of that same gym. If you type up Hybrid803 rapping at 17, that's the same gym that all this happened at. You know what I'm saying? Cliff threw me out. All right, let me get back. So now I win that night, right? So that night I win. There's a guy, a local rapper, who I never met any local rappers at this time, like local rappers that's seriously doing it. I have not met anybody at this point. Didn't even really know we had, professional rappers in the town. So I meet a guy named Collard Greens. Shouts out to Collard Greens. You know what I'm saying? Good dude. And he was out there doing just a regular set, like he was just performing. And his performance blew me away. I remember, this is the first time it's the first time I seen like a street rapper like rapping like that. Because, coming up, my auntie worked for Death Row, not my Aunt Lee, but my Aunt Mona in Charlotte. She worked for Death Row. And the radio station Power 98 in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was like the head director or some shit. So she used to get us tickets to a lot of shows and shit. So I seen like LL Cool J and shit like that at this point. But I never seen like, hometown artists or whatever. Didn't even know they had those. So he's like rapping. And to be honest with you guys, he had more energy than the people that I seen on stage. That's another thing that blew me. I was like, this dude rapping all on, like, this not even a stage. This is a damn boxing gym, and he rapping all on the damn ropes. He rapping all on the motherfucking, on the mat and everything. He climbing down. He rapping. It was crazy. So, I was blown away. So after he finished rapping, I go up to him. I dap him up. He gives me a CD. He's like, yo, he's a C, he's like on my CD, and he writes his number on the CD, and he's like, yo, make sure you call me. I like your shit. And I'm like, I'm like, oh fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's on now. You know what I'm saying? And to add even more to the happiness of that night, after I won that battle, I won the whole shit for that night. So they gave me a belt, which I didn't get to take home. But I took the belt since I'm in the wrestling, like I told y'all, and I had stood up on the side of the ring, and I had held it up like The Rock, and I was just like looking around at the people, you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker, I got this, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even care about the $50. Like, it was just, for that moment, the money did not mean shit to me, none of that shit. I was just so happy that I had beat dude, and I was so happy that I had met collard greens. So I leave out. They give me the $50. And a little check. I had all this shit all the way up until recently on Marshall Street when they tore the house down. I had all this. I still had the check and everything, but now it's gone. But anyway, okay. So they give me well, it was more so of a receipt, not a check. But anyway, like saying we paid him. But anyway, so now I call collard greens the next day after school. I'm like, yo, what's good? I'm trying to fuck with you. And he's like, come to my house on the weekend. I got shows. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, my mind is like, whoa, this is, it's about to go down. I'm about to ride with this dude, and see the shows. So my mom and my stepdad at the time takes me to his house, which is up the street from the Marshall Street where I'm at. It's in the same neighborhood. And, I never forget my stepdad, Dwight. He was talking about he played drums, which he's a preacher and shit, you know what I'm saying? He did play drums and shit. He's like, I play drums. Is it something I could do? And I was kind of a little embarrassed. I was like, no, we don't need no damn drums, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was still cool. Shouts out. You know what I'm saying? But collard greens, he didn't embarrass. He didn't say nothing out the way. He was just like, okay, that's cool. So when they left, you know what I'm saying? He turns and looks at me like, because they just leave like, okay, we're leaving our kid with you. Leaving my son with you. That's my mama looking. And collard greens turns to look at me. He talking about some. He's like, yeah, people love you, huh? I was like, man, I'm trying to be cool. I'm like, yeah, man, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's whatever. But so now we leave. We go do shows. It is fucking awesome. We go do. My first show was at this Coliseum in Sumter, South Carolina. We went out there, and like I said, I told y'all I could freestyle at the time. So we go out there. He tells me, he's like, yo, you want to freestyle or whatever? I'm looking, I say, no. I go to the DJ, I look at the DJ, I say, yo, can I get on stage? He's like, what you want to do? You want to freestyle or something? I was like, yeah. He was like, well, go tell the DJ, see if DJ lets you on stage. DJ lets me on stage. I freestyle for the people. I get a great reaction from the people, and it's over from there. It's over. I'm in this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And then in the same day we leave to go do some house parties and shit like that. It was crazy. Most of the shows though, because I ain't never been in no studio or nothing, so I'm just like freestyling. But most of them I was like ad-libbing for him, because he had a song like "Hey You Shorty." You can look it up on YouTube. Like, "Hey You Shorty, what's your name? Shorty, what's your name? Shorty, what's your name?" You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there, I'm singing this shit with him. You know what I'm saying, at the shows or whatever. You know what I mean? Look it up. South Carolina history right there. That's a Columbia classic, damn it. Shorty, what's your name is? Shorty, what's your name? What's going on? Okay, yeah. So now we're performing around. So now we get to now mind you, I'm still boxing and shit at this time, but I'm not really boxing like I was. Like I done kind of been faded back, and now I'm just more so going. My whole brain is going to rap somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And we was already going to the teen clubs and shit, so it was like club and rap. That's my brain, right? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's to the point I'm in school. I'm not even giving a fuck about the lessons no more. Like at first I was trying to get my grades right. Now I'm in this bitch writing songs. I ain't giving a damn. You know what I'm saying? So now, fast forward a little bit. We go to this. Um, it was a Mother's Day show at this place in the country somewhere. Like it was in the woods and shit. So anyway, we go out there, and this is where I meet Blind Fury for the first time, and I have that story on there on YouTube too, about how I met Blind Fury and Lil Ru in the same day, for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And that was dope. So after that, I have my last fight, which I lost. Now by this time, I done started smoking, weed, and it's kind of fucking with my, I just want to smoke, and I'm drinking too, what I'm saying, but I never really was a drinker like that, but I'm smoking, so my health regimen is off, it's fucking with my lungs now, so I'm not really into boxing like that. I'm just going because it's like, I love, I'm going because I like to go. It's just something I do, you know what I mean? So when I go, I have my last fight with Charlamagne the God's bouncer, which that story's on here. And after that last fight is when I just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna straight do music. And then I was just going around, traveling with collard greens and trying to do whatever I can, at an open mic or wherever to get exposure, and just trying to make a name for myself in the city. Didn't have nobody really with me but collard greens and DJ Chuck Nice. And, we was going around and I was trying to make a name for myself. So, and then we get to a point, me and collard greens were supposed to go to a show to the same spot where I met Rue and Fury at, right? We were supposed to go do another show down there for Mother's Day again. I think this is like a year later. I'm gassed up, I'm ready to go, and he's like, yeah, I'm coming to get you, but he never shows up. This is the first time somebody ever did me like this in the music industry. Now I know that that ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, now I know, that's just somebody just not calling you and shit is just the least of your motherfucking, that ain't shit, because they rake the fuck out you now. But back then I was just like, oh shit, this man he ain't wanted to take me to the show, man. What the fuck going on? Not knowing that this man done took me with him, took me under his wing, showed me some things, you know what I'm saying? Let me perform. I'm getting a name with this dude and all this other shit. I was completely out of line for the attitude I had at the time. But I'm young, I'm immature. I'm listening to 50 Cent and all them niggas dissing everybody, Eminem and them dissing everybody. They're my favorite rappers. And so I'm like, you know what, man? I ain't fucking with collard green right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do, my own thing. Now, I didn't tell him that to his face. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do my own thing because I was kind of mad or whatever. So one day he pulls up, he sees me, I'm walking, and he pulls up, and he's like, yo, you wanna go to the radio station? I got some. And I'm thinking that, I got my name and shit, I don't need it. Look. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And he looked at me, he was like, oh, okay. And he just kind of pulls off and go ahead. And, he didn't know, by the time I was just immaturely mad at that situation, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But, I hate I didn't jump in the car and roll with them, though, because after that, it was like, I stopped rolling with them, and they was doing big shit, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm in this, I don't know what to do. After this, after my little buzz is dying down from rolling with collard greens and Chuck Nice and all them, I don't know what to do in my city and shit. I'm like, oh shit. So I get up with this dude named Pancho, rest in peace, and he's hanging with a dude I grew up with named Bone and another dude named Fire, and they're looking for a third member to their group, and Pancho is trying to play manager. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get with these guys or whatever. So I'm getting with them. We start doing open mics. I'm not really liking it because Pancho's not really doing what Greens and Chuck Nice and them was doing, but he's trying for what he's, for what he knows. You know what I'm saying? Can't speak nothing bad on Pancho, man. But now Pancho was taking us to these different clubs for open mics in the city. Back then, the city had a whole lot of different open mics going on. at different clubs. And he took me to this one particular club named Columbia Live. You understand? And when we went to the club, it was packed the fuck out. It was like a Sunday. And that's why I remember it was like a Sunday, but it was packed. I was like, who packs a club on a fucking Sunday? You know what I'm saying? So we go in there. It was a huge ass club. We walk in this mug. And what I remember when we go in, it's like you go in and it was another club, like it was another room, where they was doing, had music. Then it was like a bar, and then it was like a door into another big ass room. So we walk in and we go through the door to the other big ass room. When we opened the door, the first thing I noticed was the smoke that came out that motherfucker. When we opened, like before we opened the door, it was no smoke, everybody cooling, everything was straight. We opened the door to go in that part. Next thing you know, you would have swore the Wolfman or Michael Jackson or somebody was in this motherfucker coming out. David Blaine or something. The smoke, it was so thick of weed smoke coming out this motherfucker. So like we walk in this bitch, boom. So we see it, you see the posters on the wall and shit, chock full of people. It's like pool tables and shit like that. They got a stage in the back, you know what I'm saying, which is just like a step up from the people above everybody and shit. And we just seeing all the people in there. And he's like, yeah, we finna go in here and battle this clique named Jelly Tight. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm picking on their name like Jelly, what the Jelly? They sweet nigga, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? We about to go ahead and murk these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Because we was going to other open mics and we was just doing it in and, getting a name for ourselves. Man, we go in this motherfucker. And we quickly get dusted in this bitch. You understand what I'm saying? We Pancho, he daps up Red, this dude named Red, who's over the club and who owns Jelly Tight, he owns the club and shit at the time. He daps him up. This dude's like Birdman of Columbia. You understand what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, I got some rappers to battle your rappers. He's like, let's see what's good. So me, Bone, and Fire are nervously battling, the whole record label. We got this one dude named Sonny Black. He's a legendary Columbia, South Carolina artist. He's a legendary South Carolina artist. He was signed with Jermaine Dupri. Even wrote for Criss Cross and all that other good shit. Look it up. But we go to him. We had to battle him first, right? So he's just he's eating through Bone and Fire. So me, I'm like, I'm trying, and he destroys me, Bean. But I didn't give a fuck. We still going. So he destroys all three of us at the gate, and Red's looking, he's just looking at us. You know what I'm saying? So now they start passing the mic on the stage and shit. So we go up on stage and now we trying to battle them. Him, it was Sonny Black again, another guy named Venom, and another guy named Shank. And we're battling these guys. And they're destroying us in front of people. You know what I'm saying? So when we go home, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I feel like I'm Goku or some shit. Because I'm like, whereas Bone and them was like, man, I don't want to do that battling shit. I was like, I'm about to get my shit right. I'm finna burn these niggas. Fuck what you heard. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, I'm doing my damnness. I'm doing my damnness. So every Sunday now, I'm going up there to Columbia Live. I'm battling. I'm doing my damnness to try to, to beat these guys. I don't beat these guys. You understand what I'm saying? So one particular night I go up there, and this guy named Pokey, who is Red's cousin, who I still fuck with today. Shouts out to Pokey. He shot the 2020 video. The Hybrid803 2020 video and the Hybrid803 Rick James video, and we still work together to this day when we do. And he comes at me, and when I walk in the club one particular night, also sad and depressed. I'm skipping over some other shit because I'm not with Pancho at this point. I have got with this other label, Big O, and we had some problems with them, and over a girl at the time, one of my ex-girlfriends or whatever, that she was dating another guy in the label, or whatever. So I'm going through that drama, and I just go to Columbia Live, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just go ahead and try to beat these guys again, because I'm just depressed and I don't know what to do again, and all this, right? So I go to the club, and Pokey comes to me, and he's like, hey, you got a lot of potential. I've been hearing about you in the streets. I like what you've been doing out here, man. I want to fuck with you. So he said, I'm gonna bring you to Red, and I'm gonna see if Red want to fuck with you. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I'm kind of depressed and everything, but I am a little excited because, Jelly Tight, at this point, I found out, is basically the death row of Columbia, South Carolina, or the Cash Money, if you will. They got a club popping. They had other clubs popping. They had money. everybody wanted to be down with him. All the females wanted to be down. It was like that's what it was. I mean, it was lit. They had Green Street. Green Street was lit. It was lit, man. Real shit. Real hustlers. Not that bullshit they got going on today. Real hustlers. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so he takes me to Red, and Red's looking at me, and I'm like, yo, what's good? You know, so Red writes the number down on a piece of paper, and he get it to me. And I'm looking at Pokey. I said, he won't come. He said, yo, Red told me, he said, Red said, show up at the studio. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go home, and now I call my homegirl, Christy. You know, shouts out to Christy. You know, love her so much, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a car at the time. She comes, picks me up, and takes me on Green Street to the studio. When we get to the studio, I see Lil Rue. At this point, I ain't seen Lil Rue, the same person who made the Nasty song, you know, this here another nasty song, you know, that song. And he also got, they doing a challenge with a song that two hands up, keep them up, you know, the bend your knees challenge. They got that going on for him now. That's what's going on now. But Lil Rue, I meet him, he's walking out of the booth as I walk into the house, you know what I'm saying? And he sees me, he's like, yo, what's good? And I'm like, yo, what's good, big homie? He dashed me up, and he was like, what you up to? And I was like, shit, I just came to see him. He's like, all right, that's what's up. He's like, these good people. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And I was like, what the fuck you just did? Now, mind you, he just walked out of recording to what is going to be one of the biggest songs for this label that I'm about to be on, and one of the biggest songs coming out of South Carolina. You understand what I'm saying? So he walks out of the booth, like, you know, whatever. I heard him in there, you know, before, you know, when I come in and he was walking out, I had heard him a little bit, you know, and I was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck he recording. I don't know what beat that is, but that shit was hard. And it was a song called Hood Hard. You know what I'm saying? So y'all check that out whenever you get a chance. Look up Hood Hard, Lil Rue Hood Hard, or Jelly Tight Hood Hard. It's on YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? So I meet Pokey, I dap up Pokey, and Pokey takes me to the back of the house, close by the kitchen where Red's at. So Red's standing up there, like, you know, and Pokey in there. So I walk back into the back, and, you know, it's just me. Christy, she stays in the front, you know what I'm saying? So I walk back there, and, you know, Red's standing up, and he's like, yeah. He was like, so, he just instantly, he was like, so rap that shit you was rapping at the club, you know what I'm saying? And at the time I had a song called Gangsta Walk, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm skipping over a lot of shit. And that same song, Gangsta Walk, was the song that got stolen from me, which I told that story later. He was like, rap that shit you rapped at the club and shit. So I rapped it for him right there. I rapped my motherfucking heart out. I was like, you know, I was sitting in a chair, but I was getting it, nigga. I rapped my heart out. If you claim a said, let me see you gangsta walk. If you represent, let me see you gangsta walk. You say you bang, homie, let me see you gangsta walk. Gangsta walk. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there, I'm killing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I finish rapping, and I look up, right, and I'm looking at him. So Red, he looks at me, he's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he's like, he daps me up. So I dap him up. And he was like, man, studio time gonna be like on, I think it was like Tuesday. He's like, studio time gonna be on Tuesday. Just come down here on Tuesday when you get out of school. I was like, so I'm jelly tight? And then he just like, man, he walked off. So I looked at Pokey, I was like, am I jelly tight? He was like, yeah, man, you jelly tight. You know what I'm saying? So I was like ecstatic and shit. So like, after that, you know, I get with them. Needless to say, the shows then came back now. Like, we traveling over. We doing even more shit than I was doing with Greens. We doing a whole lot more shows and shit. It's dope. At the Club Columbia Live, now I'm getting to open up for big name Southern artists that's coming through, like Shauna from DTP. Then you got Pastor Troy. I opened up for him. Yin Yang Twins, I opened up for them. And the Yin Yang Twin story was dope. They actually came on, you know, before they did they set, when I opened up for them, because I was the last act to them. They came out and actually put their arm over me and shit, like, kind of really, like, you know, showed me love, got me real hot that summer. I ain't gonna lie. Appreciate y'all to that. You know what I'm saying? Yin Yang Twin, who else I opened? I opened up for a lot of motherfuckers. Dirty Boys, you know what I'm saying? The Pimpin' the Gangster, if y'all know about them, you know what I'm saying? Huh? Jeezy, but that's later on. Yeah, Jeezy came later. That wasn't in Columbia. You know what I'm saying? But I met, this is my first time meeting these big guys, these big celebrities and shit, and I was like, oh, this is dope as fuck. And then, I get to freestyle with them sometimes because they come by the studio sometimes before they go to the club to get their money or get they, the show that right away, what the fuck they gonna do. And I got to freestyle with Pastor Troy one time and shit, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But if y'all know the story about Jelly Tight, like I got on here, like I said, after a while they got busted. You know what I mean? Because they was in the streets and shit. Even before I even got to Green Street, I remember telling my mama, yeah, they want to see me on Green Street. And she was like, what the hell you going out to Green Street for? Them boys crazy. And I was like, what you mean they crazy? They some nice people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but which they was always good. They always looked out for me and everything like that. As long as I did my homework, you know what I'm saying, everything was cool in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Used to get my hair cut and all kind of shit, cause you get me clothes. That's back when the artist was really taken care of by the label, like real shit. Like, if you come around there looking bummy, they like, hold up, we don't like you looking like this. Just regular. Hey, go get my man something from the mall, or go ride with Fetty or something, go to the mall, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it was back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So now they get locked up in '05 on Operation Clean Green. You know what I'm saying? Leon Lott locks up my boys. Appreciate the likes, y'all. So now I'm fucked up. I don't know what to do. I actually go into this depression like for 2 years. After they had got locked up, we just finished out the little shows that we had. And I just went into a depression. I didn't go to no more shows. I didn't know what to do. I was stressed the fuck out. I was with this girl who really wasn't trying to do shit. And she used to always watch the fucking, A Different World and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and shit. So for 2 years, I'm at the house disgusted. I got this, I'm working on and off different jobs and shit like that there, but I'm just disgusted at this shit. And I'll never forget that day. I had already seen these fucking episodes. Like, it was like A Different World and all this shit. And I like, you ever seen like TV episodes so much till you start mouthing the shits? You know what I'm saying? And like, I remember while we was watching A Different World, and I just caught myself I knew what the fuck they were gonna say, because I've been sitting around watching TV for so fucking long. And I got sick. I was like, I remember I stood up, she was looking at me crazy, like, what the fuck? And I was like, yo, this shit is stupid, this ain't me, I don't wanna do this shit no more. And like, she thought I was going fucking crazy or, whatever, and, she really thought I was talking about her getting a job. Which, cause I was getting on her about getting a fucking job. She didn't want to get no job. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? But she was just mad, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I was like, look, I can't take this no more. So I left that night. The night came, I said, I'm finna do something. So the night came, I cut my hair, and I fucking got my best dressed duds that I can get, and I had went to the club. I was like, fuck it, I gotta get back in the scene. And the first place I go was a place called Main Event. It was a club called Main Event down here. It's right in front of a school called Benedict. You can look all this shit up. I'm trying to say the landmarks and shit so y'all can look it up. So I go over there on Blandy Street to Main Event, and the first thing I noticed, this is like what? This is like 2000, probably like 2007, 2006, 2007. First thing I noticed when I go to the club is people are wearing these fucking wooden chains. And when I came up, you had to have a chain. If you're gonna wear a chain, it had to be like a chain with a real medallion or some shit. But these motherfuckers had like wooden chains and like a wooden medallion on the motherfucker and shit. Like, everybody had them. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, like, everybody had them so much so to the point I thought the club was selling them. I was like, what the fuck? I'm looking around like, who the hell's selling these fake ass chains? That's what I'm saying. These chains is fake. So I see a dude named DJ Frosty. Now, DJ Frosty is another big name DJ in Columbia, South Carolina. He I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what radio station he went to now, but he's a prominent DJ. So he was DJing at that club at the time, and I knew him from my connects and shit. So I go up to him, because me, when I go to the club, I go straight to the DJ. I go up to him and he got the big fucking chain on. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's good with the shows and everything? And he was like, oh, ain't nothing popping like that. But if I know it, he was just telling me like, the scene ain't how it used to be or whatever the case. And, if I hear something, I'm going to tell you or whatever. But he did point me to some open mic, and, that was pretty much that. But that night I particularly remember the damn chain. Everybody was rocking them fucking chain. I still to this day, I ain't never had them chain. If y'all had them chains, if y'all know what I'm talking about, say it in the comments or some shit. I don't know, but that shit was wild as fuck. So now I'm trying to get back in the scene, but I don't really want to do these open mics and shit like that. So I'm working a job, but I'm also kind of doing open mics, just to stay relevant, I guess. And but after a while, like the local promoters started, wanting to book me to come to because I had a name, fucking with the big name guys and shit in the city. So whenever I was on a flyer or whatever, they noticed that more people would come, more other artists, other local lower named artists would come around if they knew I was going to be on the flyer. So they started putting my name on the flyer. So after a year, them put my name on the flyer for free. I was like, and I'm out here trying to make it, myself, and I need bread and shit, and I'm getting more business minded at this point. I'm like, hey, y'all motherfucker gotta, give me some gas money or something. Y'all put my name on this motherfucking flyer. You understand what I'm saying? So, they started doing that reluctantly. You know what I'm saying? They did not want to give it. They thought me coming performing at they fucking rinky dinky ass spot was supposed to be exposure and all this other shit. But they started paying me reluctantly. And, I'm doing that, but, it's all right for a little bit. And then those shows start dying down where, they're calling me to perform, right? So, after those shows start dying down after they're calling me to perform, there's that late ice cream man, I ain't it. I meet up with this guy, I'm sitting at the house, I'm cooling, and through my stepdad, Dwight, I meet up with this guy, Boo. Boo introduced me to this guy named DJ Casper. DJ Casper was the most grimiest, snakiest DJ I ever encountered. But at the time, I thought he was a savior. So he takes me, I'm at my house, like I said, my shows are dying down and all this other shit, and I'm trying to figure something out. So Boo's like, I know this white guy, and also I don't have a studio. So, I'm bugging out on that. So, like, I need to record and all this other shit too. So Boo comes, and he's like, well, I know this white dude named DJ Casper. He got a studio in these apartments, and he dope. He can mix. And I'm like, okay, cool. So they take me to his apartment. I meet him that night. He was at his girlfriend apartment or something. We go in the back. I remember being dark as shit in the house. I guess it was studio. But anyway, now that I think, because Casper was. But anyway, we go in the back. He pulls this beat up, dope ass beat. Don't know where the fuck he got it from. I record a song, and then that was the beginning of me and DJ Casper's relationship. So now the whole thing with DJ Casper is, he's trying to find a spot to build a studio. Because like right after I meet him, like a month later, he gets into it with his girlfriend. So now he's like kicked out and shit. So now he has the spot to get it, for his studio and shit like that. So we just going through spots, trying to find different locations. That's a crazy ass situation. And we get into this one situation where he finds out about DJing at the club, because we're trying to find different spots to set the studio up. But we're not having good luck. We had one on this place called Leesburg Road, and it was alright, but we had to leave out of there. And once before we had to leave out of there, he had started DJing in clubs, because he said he used to DJ when he was like 16 or some shit. So I'm like, okay. He said he DJed some school parties and shit. So let's go ahead and he said he's gonna start DJing some clubs. I said, okay, cool. I'll roll with you. You can DJ some clubs, and let's do that. So he's starting to DJ in some clubs for some extra money so we can keep the studio. End up losing the studio. I'm going with him, and we kind of fucked up at this point. So we sitting at my house, and now we're trying to brainstorm on what the fuck we gonna do, and all this. So what happened? I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so now we go back to the club. Okay, so when we go back to the club, another club that we DJing, he just tells me to like get the mic and just like say shit. So I get the mic, and now I'm just like, saying shit over the mic, hyping the crowd up and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, the club owner, he comes over there. I forgot what spot we was at, and he's like, "Yo, I like what y'all doing. Is this your host?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, cool. Y'all keep working. I want y'all to come back another night." So now I'm like, "Oh shit, we got a lot. We not just doing a little party. You know, he not just DJing little gigs no more to get." Some money so we can try to find a building or whatever. So now it's like, okay, shit, we got a little spot every week. This is dope as fuck. So we start hosting over there. It wasn't Side Pocket. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the club. Just y'all ain't from here, so y'all. But anyway, we start DJing at this one club. And we hosting. So next thing you know, we get a call from another club called Deja Vu. This story could be put into a movie. Appreciate you, Ms. Wolf. Appreciate you so much. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all being here too. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get my story out. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can know, how I got here. But okay. So now DJ Casper, he gets a call from the strip club. By the This Is It over there. What was the name of it? Deja Vu. All right, strip club called Deja Vu. At the time, Deja Vu was one of the hottest strip clubs in the city. So they give us like a cheap night, like a Sunday night to test us out. We go over there. They love, the people love us. The girls love us. This was my first time calling, strippers and shit like that. I'm getting a little, and calling out the names and the stripper list and all that. I got used to it. It was cool. And, we started getting, we got locked in at the strip club. So now we're doing the strip club like fucking 5 days a week, and then we still doing the other club on the weekends, you know what I'm saying? And now we're trying to find other spots. Shit's going great. We're making an ass of bread, from tips and shit like that. But Casper is shitting me on the money because at the time he said he was only getting paid $100 a night. This is what he tells me. See, everything was all cool. We was all, grinding. But he would handle the money with the clubs. He was always handling the money with the clubs. But I just kind of let it happen because I ain't gonna cap. He was a white guy. I'm like, all right, white dude gonna handle the business, be good. Wrong thing for me to think. You know what I'm saying? So, Casper's getting, supposedly I'm thinking he's getting $100 a night, and he's only breaking me off $30 a night for me hosting. We've been doing this shit for like 3, 4, about almost 6 months now. You know what I'm saying? And one night, rest in peace, Dolo, he got unalive down here on some other shit by somebody else. But he used to give a lot of us opportunities in his club, whenever he had, because he had different clubs. He was a Jamaican. He was an African. Yeah, I think he was African, and he had a lot of different clubs around here. But anyway, so Dolo, he owns the strip club. This Is It. At the end of the night, we have to go in the back this particular night. So I just walked with Casper instead of just staying out there talking with the girls and smoking and shit. I walked back there with Casper. This motherfucker gives Casper $350 damn for DJing. And I'm looking at Casper like, what the fuck? And when he took the money, he tried to take the money and put it in. I said, hold up, motherfucker. Right then and there. I was like, hold up. I said this shit in front of everybody. I was like, yo, you only giving me $30 damn. You said you was getting $100. And right in there, he just tried to hurry up, give me $50. He was like, here, take this, and took the 50. And I was just looking at this nigga, you know what I'm saying? So we walk out, I'm cussing this motherfucker the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, nigga? You have to give me some bread, nigga. Fuck this shit. I ain't finna keep coming, with you no more if you ain't gonna give me no fucking bread. So he's like, all right, well, he hits me with I'm trying to get the studio for us. And by this time, we ain't even doing the studio hustle no more, like trying to get a studio no more. At this point, it's just, he got this shit set up at another friend of ours' house where we gonna go record at and shit. And, he's like, oh, I need to have the rest of the money because, I don't got no place. I'm trying to get a place. You got it, because at the time I had Marshall Street, whatever was in my name. He was like, you got a place, and I'm trying to get me a place, and I'm trying to get the studio, so I can give you I'm gonna give you 50, and then let me take the 3 because I'm trying to do this. This is what I'm trying to do. Right? And I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was like, you know what? All right, I'm gonna do it for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this for a little bit because, what the fuck else? Where else I'm gonna get this shit? Man, what's happening, Jamie? What's good, big homie? You know what I'm saying? So, he gives me the 50. I take the 50 for another 2 months, 2 to 3 months. But in this time, this is like Christmas, around Christmas time, I come up with the I'm gonna make a mixtape, see, because I had went to another club just chilling, and I overheard the club have a commercial in the mix for their club. It was like, it was like ladies' night, it was playing the music or whatever, and then it was like, this is ladies' night at such and such. Make sure you come here every Wednesday. So I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna do that for the next club, for my club that I'm in. So I go to Dolo. I'm like, yo, Dolo, I got a commercial and all this. I want you to play in the club and all this. I mean, I want to do a commercial for the club. I want you to play. He was like, yeah, cool. So I make the commercial, and I bring it back to him, and he's playing the commercial in the club. Well, he gets Casper to spin it, and you know what I'm saying. And he's like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's like, yo, this is dope. This for the club. So I get an idea. I was like, okay, well, since I'm already getting song, I gave him this CD with this commercial on, and he played it. And I'm already getting song. I already be putting songs on CD and shit. What if I start selling the commercial with other songs from the mixes that we have, and you know what I'm saying, make some bread off of it. So this is what I do. And at the time, a lot of people was doing remixes on songs, like, you know what I'm saying. This is back when remixes was hot. You know what I mean, like like Walk It Out would have with Andre 3000 on it, or Lil Wayne. This when Lil Wayne was killing everybody remixing shit. You know what I'm saying? So I put the commercial on the CD, and I had remade the Waka Flocka song, "Oh Let's Do It." How I did it was, I put the first verse, Waka Flocka on the first verse, the hook. I put Lil Wayne, because Lil Wayne had a hot verse on that beat, the "Oh Let's Do It." I put Lil Wayne's verse on the second one, and I put the hook on there, and then I wrote a verse, and I put the hook on there. And I had that, and I had another song on there, about my I call "About My Bread." This is on YouTube too. You can check it out. And around those songs, I had all the hottest songs at the time. Rick Ross, you know what I'm saying, T.I., all that, all the good old school shit. You know what I'm saying, old Southern shit. So I had all that on the playlist. So I go to the club. I got like 150 CDs or some shit. I go to the club one night, and the girls was already cool with me and or whatever with me. I guess because I'm cute. Yeah. Nah, man. But the girls was already cool with me and everything, whatever. So when I get there, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, yo, I got a mix CD. Would you like to buy it? And they was like, nah, we ain't buying this shit, but we'll help you sell it. And then they started tripping because they looked on the cover, and they was like, why the hell we ain't on the cover? Why ain't asked us to take pictures? And I was like, shit, I ain't know y'all want to take pictures, because I had some digital girl on there. I had it made, whatever. So anyway, I give them the CDs. I give different ones the CDs. And when I tell y'all, these girls was selling the hell out of them. They was killing, like, dudes was just giving them. I'm sitting back looking, like, I'll be at the DJ booth and I be looking at them and shit. And they be buying a bar and they don't even know. They be like, yeah, you want to buy my little brother CD? And dude be looking at her, he'd be like, man, I want to see. Be like, come on, buy my little brother CD. Nigga just give him $40. Here, just take that. You know what I'm saying? I be sitting there looking, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? She come right over there, gave me the 20, kept something for herself. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, they really buying these shits. So at the end of the night, I'll never forget this. At the end of one night, Casper ain't know none of this shit was going on. All he knows is I got a CD. He ain't know what the hell I had going on. I had at the end of this night, I think I counted up like $600, bro. I know it was like $500 or $600 I had brought home on top of the little $50 he gave me. So I go home, you know what I'm saying? I'm ecstatic. I'm like, yo, this is lit. This is the shit. So we selling this shit out. So after about 3 months of selling it out, and the CD gets old, the songs get a little old, new songs are coming out now. You know what I'm saying? I come back at Casper. Yo, you're going to have to bump me up to something. Plus, I'm hot. He's fucking with me. People, wanting to come see me. What's good? So he starts giving me $75 damn dollars. Which I don't, I didn't like it, but I dealt with it for a couple of weeks. At this point, I'm starting to go out to other clubs by myself, and I go to this place called Side Pocket, and I meet this other DJ named DJ Cash. So Cash, going to Side Pocket a couple of nights, Cash, like, yo, you be hosting this shit. Why don't you start fucking with me, and we can do some clubs? And I was like, all right, cool. So, Cass was calling me like, hey, I want you to come do a club. I'm like, yo, you got to give me $100 or, I can't fuck with him. And you know what I'm saying? And he's like, I can't give you that. So, I stopped fucking with Casper. Now I'm fucking with Cash. I'm getting a smooth $100 a night. Everything is everything, and it's love. I'm doing great. It's love like a motherfucker. Then I started getting other DJs. I got DJ Guinness, who if you look on here, I had hosted again for like the last time. I was rusty as shit. That was DJ Guinness. He was helping me out. DJ Be Ready. That was another DJ I used to roll with a lot. Who else I used to roll with, man? Fuck DJ Shot. Shouts out to Shot. You know what I'm saying? I had like, and before you know it, like, and a couple other DJs, a couple other little lower name DJs in the city. And before you know it, it's like I had like a network of DJs, a network of clubs. Shit was lovely. And then the city passed that damn law, the zoning laws, right? So when they passed the zoning laws, a lot of clubs had to get shut down because they was either from like right by a church or something, or they had put a church by them or something. Like the police around here was fucking tripping. You know what I'm saying? So they done put these zoning laws on. So now ass of the clubs that I'm working at is getting shut the fuck down. So I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got, now I ain't really got no place to work, nor I ain't got no place, no places to work at all. You know what I'm saying? Or it really ain't got no place to have fun or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So now this shit just bugging me, right? So after the clubs go down, I'm just selling CDs. I'm just going straight hard on selling CDs. Just making songs, selling CDs, just trying to figure out, where to navigate and everything. And then I get up, I meet back with Casper's ass again, but now Casper's working with this dude named Mike. All right? Now, Mike is this dude who has, I guess he's a millionaire or some shit. He got like an ass of bread or some shit, but he plays broke. But he was running this this bootleg thing going on with DVDs and CDs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out there selling CDs on the corner, selling my CD. You know what I'm saying? And after I meet back up with Casper, just to really record again, because he had a studio and shit. Casper tells him, Casper and the other people in the studio, KD and them, all of them tell Mike about me, because I'm the only nigga in the studio actually selling CDs. You know what I'm saying? So, I go back there one day, and I'm fucking broke up. I'm hurting. I'm working at this place called Ovations, washing dishes. I told you, one day I got to sit down and tell y'all the story of Ovations. But I'm working at Ovations, but Ovations is not really doing good because they had a big change. I can't really get money at Ovations like that. So I'm bugged out. I'm sitting, so I go to the studio where Casper's at and Mike's at. And this dude named KD, he comes at me and he's like, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get some bread. Do you know any jobs or anything like that? And he was like, nah, but you can go to the plasma center. I ain't never heard of the plasma center and none of this shit at this time. I never, I was like, what the fuck is the plasma center? Apparently it's a place where you can go sell the plasma in your blood. So I go down there and, I sell my blood and they give you $50. And I did that shit for a couple of years. Well, yeah, I did it for a couple of years. Let me see. I did it for like a year like a year or so. You know what I'm saying? But during this year, I'm still fucking with the studio, going over there to record and all this. And this is, if you can look right here, we getting intimate with Hybrid803 today. This is the, because I used to always get stuck in the same spot. And this is where they used to always take my shit from out of CSL Plasma. See, I don't do nothing on the other arm, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I always used to get it out that one vein. Because I ain't want them sticking me no other places, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I was doing that, in a fucked up place too, obviously. And one day, Mike, he sees me coming in selling CD. I make a CD, I make a whole CD at they spot, and now I'm selling that CD called the Black Sheep CD I got. So Mike comes at me one day and he's like, yo, I know you out there on the block selling CDs. Would you like to sell anything else? And I was like, I think he's talking about dope. I'm like, hell yeah, I can sell anything. What's good? Because, I used to sell back in the day. And he was like, well, I got some, he went and he said, I'm going to give you $1,000, right? And I said, oh, I said, okay. So he goes, gets this crate, this big gray crate, and in this gray crate he has DVDs and CDs in there, like an ass of DVDs, an ass of DVD, not movies, but pornos and fucking and shit from the internet. You know what I'm saying? And music, mix CDs and shit. So I take this and I go on the block with these CDs and DVDs. And when I tell y'all, he was like, and I said, yo, what I got to give you back for this? He was just like, you can have this. I'm just giving you this because I see you out here. And I was like, all right, fuck it. So I go out there. When I tell y'all my motherfucking hustle went through the roof, I went out there, as at first I was making like $30, $40 in a day just off my CD. I'm up here making like $150, $175 off the motherfucking, especially the pornos. Them old dudes, like it'd be old dudes at the hot spot at the gas station. They be coming there early in the morning and shit. And they be, hey, them old dudes buying them pornos. I ain't give a fuck. I charge them $10, they buy them motherfuckers. Hey, they're like, hey, young man. They be like, that's the porno, that's the dirty moving man. That's what you call me. Dirty moving man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I'm sitting there, I'm banking, and if y'all look on my page, if y'all look on here again, and if you look at if you look up Hybrid803 on the grind or something, you can see me and Shanny selling CDs out there on the very same spot I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I steal my spot, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So like my shit went through the roof. So I'm sitting here like bugging, like, yo, this is crazy. I'm paying bills, eating good, smoking good, shit's lovely. Now the gray crate running out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh shit. So I go back to Mike. I'm like, yo, my gray crate running out. I ain't really got all the hot shit they want. You know what I'm saying? I got my shit which is selling, but what's good? I'm trying to get the big money. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? So that's when he hit me with the A. Since you was, because I had sold it like it took me about a good month, about a month to come back to him. And then after that, he was like, well, since you sold it like that and you got rid of it like that, I be selling these shits in the stores. I want you to start going around to the stores and, start handling them at the stores. And I'm like, okay, that's dope as fuck. So he takes me on, the next day, he takes me in this van and we drive around to the different stores and I'm seeing how he handles it. I didn't even know motherfuckers even did this. Like, you know what I'm saying? But what it was he would go in there, he would have a display, like it would be like this white box, you know what I'm saying? It would have like steps on it, and it was like a display, like a lean type thing, and he would have like the CDs going in it, going up like a step, you know what I'm saying? And he walks in there and he wanted like $75 per thing, and I just didn't, I didn't know he can walk into just any fucking corner store and do that. But he walks in and they're just paying him. They're like, oh yeah, how you doing? Yeah. He walks in, he's like, and then Mike, he talked funny and shit, so he'll walk in and be like, hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? How you doing? And then they walk in there, oh, Mike, how you doing, buddy? Keep in mind this interaction. Oh, how you doing, buddy? You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got some DVDs here. I got good hot product. Hot product. And then he'll be like, oh, yeah. Oh, bring it, buddy. Bring it. How much you want, buddy? $75. He get it. Oh, okay. Yeah, everything's smooth, right? So then it was only one store that we went to that they said they wanted consignment. And they was like, okay, well, he was like, yo, I got these DVDs, CDs. You know what I'm saying? You can sell them. I'm gonna sell them to you $1.25 a piece. You know what I'm saying? That equals out $75. And he was like, oh no, buddy, I don't want to buy it. He was like, okay, well look, how about I leave it with you? I'll leave this box with you, and then whatever you sell, you pay for that, and you keep what you have, and I'll refill it. And dude looked at him, and he was like, okay, you leave your stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know you could do this. You know what I mean? Before I had did something similar like this with bootleggers back in the day, but I didn't know you could just walk up into a corner store and fucking do this shit. So I'm like, okay, what the fuck? So after about 2 days of me riding around and just watching him and eating free food, he was like, all right, it's your day. So I get in the car and I go drive around. And, it was going smooth as shit. I was going in there with refills. It was going smooth as shit when I had to go back to the places he already went. But then when I had to go find new stores, the same way they interacted with his ass was not the way they interacted with me. I walk in this store and they get racist as fuck. I be like, hey, what's going on? But they be like, the fuck this nigga doing in here? I be like, hey, I just got some DVDs and CDs. They be like, no, thank you, we good. And I'd be like, yo, it's a good price on them. I pay 50 cents a CD. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't do no 50 cent a DVD. What the hell? You can't just make the price and shit. Luckily though, I called Mike and he be like, yeah, you can send to him for, we can finagle with the price a little bit. So you know what I'm saying. I was like, yo, I had give him to her for $1. One nigga I did it for 50 cent. One dude I got it for $1.25. But everybody want a consignment. Wasn't nobody buying from me. I didn't know what the hell he had to gift the damn gab. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I just couldn't get it. They just wouldn't letting me get it. So we're doing that. We sell all kind of products. I'm talking about we started selling shirts. We started selling a blunt power that he made us make on our own, which was weird as shit. And all kind of shit. We had e-cigarettes. We had all kind of shit that once Shannon started dating me, she was using for free. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm doing this, and he comes out. He says, "Yo, I have an internet radio station. Would you like, and I'm trying to, get it pumping. I'm trying to get some ideas from it. Would you like to host on it one day?" And I'm like, "All right, cool. We might try something one day." So they come up with this shit, this internet radio station. And, we're doing that for a minute, but ain't nobody really listening to it. Nobody's really giving a fuck. It's up for a couple of months, but nobody's caring. And, I'm getting the street money. So I'm like, it is what it is. And I'm eating street money now. I'm doing good. You know what I'm saying? Dude's paying me I think he was paying me what? Like, he was paying me $50 a day just to ride around and do all that shit. Plus, I was getting extra little tips on the side, and I was selling my own shit. So it was dope. So, we get he says, okay, I really want to do this internet radio station thing. Do you have any ideas? Now, at the time, due to my blind homeboy Breezy, who also is who made the beat for me and Fury a song, Bass in My Trunk and all that. He's gotten me a little local deal with this record label called Elite Records. You understand what I'm saying? I'm doing that. But Elite Records ain't really doing shit, but I'm doing that, working on a project over there, and you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. So while I'm at the studio one day at my other label, I'm trying to figure out what we can do for the internet radio station with my other homies. I'm like, hey, why don't I put everybody's music around here who's an artist on the fucking station? And then that way people will just listen to the shit. And instead of me, because before it would be, artists they'll be like, okay, in order to get your shit played on the radio or whatever, you would have to pay or whatever the fuck. But me, I was like, well, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna honor everybody and just put whoever the fuck I know is rapping, go find their shit the best way I can on YouTube or whatever, download it and put it on the internet radio. So I did that, and we started letting people know about it. And next thing you know, all the artists in the city started loving it. It was dope. And now we got, shit pumping with that. You understand what I'm saying? It's crazy because I'm trying not to go into this story with you know what I'm saying? But it's a part of my life, so I gotta kind of tell it. Fuck! You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So now the city is, the artists in the city are fucking with us, and they're telling other people to fuck with us. So we're getting a better buzz. The radio station didn't fuck with us, at all. None of the local artists, they wasn't playing our music at all except for Lil Rue and Collard Greens and shit like that. So like nobody wasn't getting no shine on the radio at the time too. So this came, and when I brought it to them, it was it revived the Columbia music scene, I guess. You understand? So now we're doing that. Mike's a businessman, so he starts sniffing money. So after this, he comes up with a business model of you can pay to get your shit on and all this. And then we started coming up with the business model of you can pay to get your song on some of the mix CDs that we selling out here at these gas stations and shit. So that way you can have distribution. And this is before I knew about CD Baby and all this other shit. And I know CD Baby was going on at the time, but a lot of people around here really wasn't on to the DSPs and shit. So they was like, paying us to basically bootleg them and put them in different places and shit like that. You know what I mean? So that was going great. We was eating. Everything was going good. And then, what I want to say. What I want to say. We was going good until some fuck shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the likes, y'all. And with every group, there's always, there's always gonna be some bullshit, especially when you got money and you got girls and you got the spotlight on you flowing like it's flowing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had already been in the spotlight a couple of times before, as I told y'all in my story, but the new guys that I was with, they never really been in the spotlight before, so they just started acting an asshole. Next thing you know, they started trying to do negative shit, like put rumors on people, and they fired me. You understand what I'm saying? Over a female too. That was wild as shit. But anyway, they fired me over some female that lied and said I was trying to fuck with her, whatever the case. So now I'm working at this place called Kangaroo, and I'm watching them online just straight go nosedive with this shit. Everything that I put up, I tried to build up and do for the artists, they're now destroying and trying to find love and hip hop bullshit to put on there by exposing people and shit. Backfired because they tried to expose some dude who was in a clique for being gay, and this clique that he was with, we actually helped that clique get on and in the city through interviews with us and our internet radio station. Yes, I'm purposely not saying the names for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But they started trying to get rumors on somebody who was in another big clique in the city at the time. So the people, they was trying to say he was gay and that he was doing a gay porno, and everybody was like, well, how the hell did you know he was doing a gay porno? And then Katie actually went and fucking downloaded the fucking gay porno and tried to put it out, and that backlashed. So now they call me back. I'm working at Kangaroo, and at this time I meet Shantae, you know what I'm saying, who she was with me. She started rocking, because you wasn't, because she started rocking with me, while I'm working at Kangaroo. I re-met up with Shantae again. She said she wanted to get back in the music industry, even though she lied, because she really was just trying to get in my drawers, and that's fucked up. Talking about she wanted to be a damn rapper. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Me and Shani started hooking up and talking and everything, and she's making the moves on me and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So now, I said it. Fuck, I said it. If you caught it, then you caught it. If you didn't, fuck it. So now they call me. So now they call me back. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, we want you to come back. You got good ideas. Blah, 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 blah. And basically, we got a whole fucking forest fire over here. We need you to come put out. Because you are a real rapper. You in tune with the streets. You know what's up. So I go back over there. Really, at this point, I'm pissed off, and I don't really give a fuck now, because I came at first. It was all loyal and yes, we all the team and shit, and we good and we doing this. But after they had me fucked up, and when they had fucked me up, man, I went through a lot of shit, bills, all kind of shit when they had let me go that first time. But I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back because I can make money, and I don't want to work at no fucking Kangaroo gas station. But it is what it is. So I go back this time. He pays me more. Actually pays me more to do it. I think I was getting like $75 at this point a day or whatever, But he pays me more. But now I'm making my own sales on the side too. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And because shit, they fucking screwed me. So whatever. So they pay, we're paying me more, and we're doing this here, but it just never got back to where it was that previous year. It just never got back to where we was, and then we got a lot of clones coming around trying to fuck us over. So it just kind of, I guess fizzled out. After on the second go round, we had a third go round a couple of years back, and that's what y'all see when me going around putting stuff up with my flyer, doing the on grind shit. But it just didn't. It's just not the same how it was. So I stopped doing that. So after I stopped fucking with those guys, I'm stressed the fuck out again, and I don't know what to do. And I'm at my label, and my label is treating me like shit. My dad dies, my real dad, he passes away. That's devastating. And I thought my label would be more, supportive of me and whatever at the time of this shit, but they didn't give a fuck at Elite Records about what the hell I had going on and how I was feeling. He just wanted me to sell them damn records. You know what I'm saying? And when I couldn't sell records like I was selling when I was with the internet radio station, that's when he tried to, shelf me. But I'm Hybrid, Hybrid803. And you don't shelf me. I don't play none of that shit, you know. So I took all my shit. I went there. One of the engineers that was good with me, Uzi. I went there. I told Uzi, I said, "Yo, give me all my complete shit. My last album I was working, because I put out another album with them. Fuck them. And I don't want y'all to know what that is. But I put out another album with them, and it sucked or whatever the hell. But I took those tracks and I re-put them out on the SC Alien. That's the first like 12, 13, first 15 tracks is that album. You know what I'm saying? And the rest were, other tracks in my vault. I get all my shit and I leave. So now I'm at Marshall Street with me and Shantae. She's doing eyebrows at the house. I'm selling CDs, trying to get work at a little job. I started working at this place called Persona Pizza. It's weird as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. And then after a while, I just quit my job because they were disrespecting. They didn't want to, it was a shitty ass job. They didn't care about their workers. I'm washing dishes. They didn't want to give me no gloves, none of that shit. The machine kept breaking down. They didn't want to fix the machine, which was impeding my work. So, and then I signed up for a dishwasher and they tried to get me to be wanting to go out there and cook and all this other shit. And I told them I'm not no fucking cook. I don't do that. I told you what I'm doing or whatever. Because, by this time, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. You're not finna rate me at no job. Because if you want me to do all this extra shit, you got to pay me. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We have differences. I leave that job. So now I'm like, what the fuck to do? I don't know. So I just be like, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go all in on my music. I'm just going to figure this out because this is how I know how to make money. So I started selling my CDs. The last one's from the label, the Sativa one that's up here. I'm selling those CDs and everything. And now I'm doing vlogs on YouTube. Because I had a YouTube channel, but I didn't really fuck with it like that. I just wanted to put music videos and shit on it or songs on it. So I started going on YouTube. And I said, at first I was on YouTube just looking around, just checking people out. And I seen Curtis King and he was doing inspirational stuff. And I wanted to be like Curtis King, be inspiring to people. Because, I like to uplift people and shit. So I tried that. That didn't really get no traction. If y'all can look on my YouTube and see all this shit. That wasn't really getting no traction. And then I said, you know what? What's up, Miss Thomas? Hitting a dab on me. I can't dab. Y'all should see how Shandy dab. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm vlogging. I'm doing the Curtis King thing, inspirational, but it's not working for me. So now I'm starting to just vlog my life. I just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna just tell my story. I just like I'm doing now. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna tell my story. So, but this time I was just going around the house showing how fucked up the house is and, saying, hey, if there's anybody out there on a similar journey about coming up, we're going to do this shit together. We're going to come up together, So, I'm doing that. I'm vlogging. Get a couple of people. Shouts out to Reap Joy for reaching out at the time and all that other shit. She's been in the family for a long time, a fan in the family for a long time. That's when I first met her. She was giving me, saying that I need to look at different shelters. She was all the way in New York, comment, y'all should check out different shelters and shit. And, it was dope, the love that they was getting and the concern. That felt good to have anybody just, give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Also, too, there was this, I had went to war in my city with the janky promoters as well, too. I skipped over that part, but, that's another story. And I guess it's not another story in itself, but it was after the whole situation with the internet radio station, I tried to fuck with some other promoters. The promoters didn't do right. There were some janky promoters, so I exposed those promoters. And now it's, I don't really got too many shows and shit like that. So again, I'm fucked up. So now, with all this going on, I'm vlogging on the internet. That's why I'm turning to the internet, because I'm like, I don't think I got nowhere else to go. I done reinvented myself in the city too many times. I don't know what the hell to do. So now, I'm vlogging and I'm meeting people and I need to get a studio. So, I need to record, because I got to add some music and I need to get back to recording, making more music and put it out there. I can't just keep selling sativa. So I'm looking up shit. I see somebody make a mobile studio. It was a prototype, like I told y'all before. Looked up the prototype, doing my research on it. Then I stumbled across Audio Evolution. When I stumble across Audio Evolution, I'm looking up ways to figure out how to work it. And then I couldn't figure out how to work it, which I already told this story. So what I did was I looked at other tutorials for like FL Studio and like fucking Sonar and Pro Tools, and then I just took that knowledge and tried to apply it to the audio evolution. And if I needed to look up words on the dictionary, whatever the hell I did all that. I did all that. You know what I'm saying? So then as I'm doing that, I'm like, hey, maybe somebody else is going through this. Cause see, me, I was just always just trying to help and tell people. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, well, maybe somebody else is going through this. Maybe I should put this out. And at this point, I'm not thinking about, no views or nothing like that. I'm just really thinking about, I just want people to just, rock with me. You know what I'm saying? So I put out, I started putting out the tutorials. I put out the tutorial and show people, hey, this is Audio Evolution. This is my tutorial on it and everything, right? So that takes off for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting a lot of hits. People in the city is going crazy because, I'm getting hits. They hating. Some is congratulating, but it's like it's taking off. I'm not making no money from it, but I'm like, I'm feeling good, but I'm like, this ain't really making no bread. What the fuck to do? So as that's taking off, I kind of just get numbed up. So now I guess, I never said I was going to quit rap, but I was like, okay, now I need to figure out, something else so I can get myself in position to try to fund my career better or whatever. So I started looking into going to trucking school, right? So I go up to trucking school, the CSRT trucking school in Iowa. I go up there. It was a complete scam. I learned about that shit. And then I leave that school, come back down here. I'm sad as fuck. I'm like, damn. I almost got my, I did good in the class too. I almost got my CDLs and everything. I got my permit and everything. But I just, I realized it was a scam. It was only going to pay me like a couple of pennies a mile or something. And then I had to stay. I couldn't come back home, and be with my girlfriend and like that. So it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I don't want to deal with that. And I couldn't work out because I was going to the gym at this time. That was one of my big pieces. And I couldn't do that. So that was fucked up. So I went back home and, I was devastated that I was like, well, I didn't finish the trucking school, but I need to figure something else out, what I'm going to do. And then I looked on YouTube and I seen, I had so many fucking hits and shit from the Audio Evolution. Like all the Audio Evolution tutorials I put out and started getting up. Like one of them had like 12,000, 60,000, 50,000. It was a lot, and the most I ever had gotten on the internet, So I was like, oh shit, maybe this is something. You understand? So I just doubled down on it and I just kept going and kept going. And, I started telling people that if you want to rock with me or do a verse with me, I do verses, just pay me. You know what I'm saying? So we started doing, I started doing features on the internet, and I couldn't believe that was happening. You know what I'm saying? And then with the features on the internet, I started selling some merch. I started making merch. I started learning about that with Printful. I started selling a couple of hats and some shirts. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the shirts I got. I don't sell it no more. But yeah, I started selling some hats and some shirts. A couple of them, not really nothing. But it was enough to pay some bills and shit. And I was like, oh, this is wild. I can't believe this is happening. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sitting here fighting, doing what I'm doing, trying to figure out this internet shit, and it's up and down. And next thing you know, TikTok comes out with the reels and shit. So I tried the reels for a little bit. I didn't really like it, but I'm fucking with it, and I'm still going hard on YouTube at the time. So I'm like, it's all right. But then all of a sudden, YouTube and Facebook starts doing the reels and shit. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me go ahead and put some shit over there. And now I'm doing the Facebook reels and the YouTube reels and all this other shit. Now, we start blowing up on, we get a million hit on YouTube first, which I still haven't gotten no money yet on YouTube. It's off of what I've worked with. You know what I'm saying? Like with people who, lovely artists that's working with me, who buy verses from me and all that, who I write songs for and all that. Or whoever I made merch, but I don't get it from actual, from being on here yet. My watch time is close as shit though. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like yeah. So if you want to help me out, just go ahead and play Play me all night on the thing, on whatever. Just put the playlist on, not the shorts, not the reels, but the long play, and just play that shit. You know, any of the long ones. Play my music videos all night. Just do something. Cut it down. Do something on your other phone, your old phone, whatever. But yeah, so now, YouTube ain't really paying me, but all of a sudden, Facebook starts going up, and Facebook starts sending the motherfucking money. You understand? And shit is just been looking up, ever since. Minus the whole this month where some tax information fucked us up, and now we're waiting on that shit to come back around or whatever the hell like that. But when it do come back around, that's gonna be great, so we can get the car fixed up more, because the car brought with the money. Now I gotta get it fixed on, get the starter and all this other shit. But yeah, that's where we at now with it. And we continue in the journey, continuing to go and grow. Got more music. The music ain't gonna never stop. Music ain't gonna never stop. I love performing and being on stage. I ain't been on stage in a minute. Last time I been on stage was a couple of months ago, but I really don't count that. But we gonna get back on stage soon. Until then, I got a burst skin, light skin, so I'm gonna be bursting downtown and shit sometimes, just to get the performance jitters out and get some tips and shit, and record it more for y'all and shit. But yeah, that's where we're at now, and we're evolving and we're steady going. And I appreciate everybody who I'm meeting now. Appreciate Miss Wolf. Appreciate Xavier. Appreciate everybody who come through the channel. Appreciate you, Ryan Leonard. Appreciate you, Jamie, for coming by the channel. Miss Thomas. Appreciate you so much for coming by the channel, and everybody else who'll be coming by the channel, and everybody else who'll be getting features from me and all that other good shit. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. The journey continues. You understand? Yeah. Still gotta go in though. I still gotta tell them about that time, with the janky promoters and shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're probably gonna do that on another live. We can probably do it on another live. You know what I'm saying?
The meetup.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give y'all the janky promoter story, probably on another live, about how how that happened and all that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is how I became Hybrid803 all the way up here to now. Pro wrestling. I actually went back and tried pro wrestling again. Was it 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. About 2-3 years ago. I couldn't keep up. Well, I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't the fact I couldn't keep up. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. It was the fact that I'm not gonna say the company's name, but the dude, he said something about police, and I was like, yeah, police don't, police is dirty and whatever. And he was like, come on, we all here to have fun. And his dad was a cop, and he was my trainer, and that just didn't sit right with me. I felt like it was racist because he's white or whatever. And I just felt like you don't know my struggle, you don't know what I went through or whatever, for you to try to shut me up about the police or whatever the hell like that, and you don't know all police, because your dad may be cool, but you don't know it's some crazy motherfuckers. But I tried to go back to, I tried to do pro wrestling, it didn't mesh with it, and then after a while I just kind of fell out of love for it, the whole kayfabe thing. I kind of fell out of love. If I'm gonna do kayfabe, I might as well just act on camera or some shit like that, and not put my body at risk, whatever. So I still love boxing. Matter of fact, we're gonna get back in the boxing gym soon, when these checks get back, man. God dog. But I still, I love boxing. I'm actually getting more into boxing. I'm passing that down to Shani and Isis and my daughter whenever I can see my daughter. Love you so much, baby. I miss you so much. You're always on my mind. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and we here. More music coming. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, thank you so much, Miss Wolf. God bless you too. God bless you too. But yeah, stay tuned for the music coming. I got real stories in the music, man, in the music too. So I be really talking this shit in that music. I don't just be bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? So yo, check me out. You know what I'm saying? Check. Some real good shit in there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, thank y'all so much. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the likes. And I'm about to go eat these chicken tenders that we got. And after I eat these chicken tenders, I'm gonna get on here and probably make some more beats. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's gonna go down. Appreciate the love for y'all. And as always, until next time. What?